Hey, there you go. We are back tonight, guys. We have with us, of course, our lovely Patricia and the boys, Peter and Pete.
Hello,
Yeah,
everyone.
we're back. Yeah, oh, hello, Patricia. We've not said hello yet.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
There we go.
Hello. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we're
Anyway, the hot topic of discussion was the convention, the Globe Live Convention.
the Globe Light Convention. Yeah.
What do you mean?
No, we didn't go. No.
No. What do you reckon on it?
Well, we've got Dave Marsh coming on next week. I mean, we do love Dave and all his research, and
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if I saw many people sitting there in the bit that I've seen or no.
Yeah.
All right, because it kind of revealed
Revealed an awful lot. It was
To
quite.
us.
It was quite good actually.
because you kind of when you come into flat Earth, when you're new to flat Earth, you kind of like you delve into the information. But the more you spend in it and spend time with the people
In it.
flat Earth,
In it,
you start opening your eyes up to the politics
to the politics that's involved in
flat Earth.
well, that are associated with the people
Oh right, yeah.
involved in flat
Yeah.
Earth.
And one thing that made us sort of like think about that convention, and that is, are they really flat earthers?
Yeah,
It seems you have people who are flat earthers who think, yeah, the Earth's flat.
Yeah, it's
and
flat,
they
yeah.
will say it to anybody.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
They're
it's flat.
convicted. They're committed.
Committed,
You know.
without showing up. Whereas you have other people who recognise that the information that like NASA are pumping out is questionable. Lots of other information is questionable, and they're sceptical that the Earth is a globe.
Yeah, but they're not flat earthers.
But they're not flat earthers,
Yeah, it's a weird state of affairs, really.
which was quite interesting.
Yeah, it's a very weird state of affairs, isn't it? It's as if all. Yeah. Oh no, we're both there. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
we're both there. Yeah,
We're both there. We can see us on our screen.
it's because
It's because we've got wide screen.
yeah.
It's because we're wide screen and you're square. You guys are square.
Okay then. Well, we can see. We know you're there.
You're square.
So,
You guys are square.
So what do you mean by that, by the way, with your statement? What do you mean by what? With some of the people that were speaking or some of the people that were there? Which bit were you talking about?
Well, when you read,
Well, first of all, it was a Globe Light convention, okay, and you think to yourself, it wasn't a flat Earth convention, okay, it was a Globe Light convention, so you could argue that the people who created or thought up the title of the whole affair were people who were skeptical of the globe, skeptical of the information that they've been given, but they're not flat earthers.
yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I mean, if you've got a flat Earth convention, you'd have people saying, "Yeah, the Earth's
That's
flat,"
right, yeah.
and all this kind of stuff. But you didn't get that on this occasion, and so and you had a couple of people on the Sun article who openly admitted, publicly stated that they weren't flat Earthers,
yeah. I know. Yeah.
and one was skeptical of the globe, and the other one was can't remember.
Well, one just
So very similar.
well, yeah. So,
But you think, it's a bit of a from someone like me looking on at that convention. It's just to me it's just messy. It's confusing.
well, it shows that within the flat Earth community, there are splits
There are splits. There are
Where-
divides, divisions.
where not everybody is flat Earth.
Yeah, not everyone's a flat earther. Within
What happened was, I think, because there was all this politics about it's square, it's round, it's this, it's that, it could be concave or convex, whatever it is. A while ago, me and Patricia decided that we would, well, me specifically, maybe more than Patricia. I don't know how Patricia quite feels about that, but we have talked about it. I basically go on now. We don't know what shape we are, but we're not moving, and as far as I'm concerned, the land we're on is flat plateaus that we're on. But now what I think it is they're just trying to get people, maybe they're trying to get people more involved because we know we're not a globe.
Well,
yeah, but when the thing is that you see the thing is that when you're if you see the trouble is that you've got to be clear about the stance that you're coming from, especially when you're communicating with other people, because then other people can understand exactly where you're coming from. If you're not clear as to your position, then people won't be clear in their understanding of what you're trying to communicate to them. Yeah, but it's a globe light tour. It's not a flat Earth tour or flat Earth convention. So it's heavily focused on the information surrounding the globe. It's got really nothing to do with flat Earth.
With the Earth being flat.
With the Earth being flat. I mean, really, you shouldn't have a flat Earther there. Really. Because it's got nothing to do with the flat Earth. It's got nothing to do with it.
Well, it's like a lot of people who go into flat Earth when they realise that the information that's being pumped out about the shape of the Earth is questionable. A lot of people can get really irate about it, can get really peeved that they've been lied to.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, think we've been lied to.
Yeah, I know, and it's devastating, to go 30, 40 years through your life, and then all of a sudden somebody comes along and says to you, well, hey, it's not the way you thought it was, it's this way. Yeah. Or,
But it makes you wonder that, people like Globebusters, for example, are they actually wanting to find some evidence that the Earth is a globe in their endeavours? Are they trying to establish that the Earth is actually a globe? Because the information that they've gotten is questionable, and there's doubt as to this, there's doubt as to that. So it's up to them to establish whether the Earth is a globe or not.
Yeah. You got to.
But they're not flat earthers.
Absolutely, yeah. We don't think they're flat earthers at all. I mean, we have a specific understanding on what a flat earther is. It's somebody who would openly admit the Earth is flat based on their own personal experience of their natural surroundings. Water always finds its own level. Every flat earther knows that. So how it can curve, follow a curved surface is beyond any flat earther's dream, imagination, cogitation, whatever you want to call it. So, that's one thing. Another thing, a flat earther is somebody who is prepared to think freely and to think beyond the box that's contained within the globe model, within our education and everything. A flat earther is prepared to go beyond that and look at everything. Everything's on the table when you truly accept flat Earth.
Did you hear what I just said though? I'm not sure if we did it when we were live or before, because of the way YouTube have gone with their restrictions and the fact that they took Sun and Moon for whatever reason. I thought it's you couldn't help reading or listening to they're going to kill all the flat Earth, everything's kill. So I took the word flat Earth out so that I wasn't breaking any YouTube rules. So some people might be trying to go. It's not that you keep having to go on about flat Earth. You just go on about what's happening, that we're not moving, and trying to get people more.
Globe line.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, but on the same token, I mean, we openly admit on our channel that we're flat earthers. We think it's our view or opinion that the Earth is flat, given our experiences of our natural environment. So, I'm not going to lie, or I'm not going to distort reality by saying something else. Yeah, even come on here, I can't see the point of coming here and, saying that I'm not a flat earther. I can't
saying, well, it could be a globe if we were given the proper evidence.
But we
wouldn't say that.
Yeah, sure, we wouldn't say that, because my experience of the natural environment as I have experienced it for the past 50 years is that water always finds its own level. I've never seen any curvature anywhere. So therefore, given my experiences, my senses tell me that I'm living on a flat plane. Water is flat, You know, I'm not going to say that I'd think, well, it could be this, and it could be, I'm going by my own personal experience. Because one thing that
I think, though, in a way, though, it started off because that wording, because it was Harry. You know who Harry is, don't you? Harry.
Harry.
Yeah, he's called. What's his channel called? Patricia. That's it. John Smith Globeli. Right. So that's
we met John Smith Globeli. Yeah.
So when he went out in the camper van and went around Scotland, it sort of turned into the Globalist Denier Tour, because it's part of his channel name. And then, of course, they've kept it. They've kept his part of his channel, really. So that's how it got. That's how it sort of got there, because it was part of his channel name, John Smith, the Globalist Denier.
So are you thinking that a mention of flat Earth on this little interview here that we're doing now will be of detriment to the upload and it being up on your channel?
No, because I mentioned flat Earth myself, but I just don't put it in the tags and things because they've got bots.
Oh, we do. We on every video we put flat Earth because it's flat Earth related. You know, we're flat Earthers. You know, there's no difference to us being gay or black or any kind of
minority group.
Any other minority group. You know, I mean, you know, I can't see a problem with it.
Yeah. But if you look at our channel, it's full of flat earthers. And I'd see on a hangout, we are a flat earth channel. with you guys, you and us talking and Patricia, there's nothing wrong with it. I don't see why we're a threat for saying those words.
Absolutely.
But you and I mean, I don't know whether we should mention this, but you and I have had the whether you can call it a pleasure or displeasure of dealing with YouTube's copyrights.
Oh yeah, we've
policies. We've actually,
and I think they're pretty fair.
They're pretty good.
They're pretty good. Yeah, I think YouTube. You know, over the years we've had a channel. YouTube have been really good. You know, I can't put YouTube at any fault at all. But our experiences.
But I know that if you put information on your channel or on a video and it's copywritten material,
you can expect to get possibly some hassle from YouTube, a strike or whatever.
YouTube can take your video down.
Absolutely, you've got to just be aware of that. I mean, I think this is the big problem. A lot of people don't really fully understand. You were talking about the video you were watching with Patricia. I mean, even something just showing a page from a book, for example, or showing a clip from a video. You know, if the copyright owner sees that, that's it. You know, if they don't give you permission, your video's gone.
Yeah, because we had periodic videos.
Periodic videos.
Nottingham University, they monetize videos.
Absolutely,
and they call them the channel's periodic table of videos.
Yeah, they do chemistry stuff. We can't play any of this.
We showed a little clip from one video from one of their videos on our video. We uploaded it. We had to take it down. We had to edit it and we just put in stills from the video sequence, didn't we? Oh, that's right. Yeah, to get around,
not putting the actual full clip in there. A lot of people go on YouTube and they're unaware of copyright. I watched some guy's video where he's doing an assessment of his top 20 piano intros, okay, and one specific one he couldn't even play because of copyright. He knew that it would be taken down, the video, but he couldn't play it because that's copyright. That's what it's all about. It's protecting people's people's work, people's intellectual property. But yeah, one thing we're aware, and that is I think YouTube take a stance which is in favor of the copyright owner. So I fully understand that, but you see, the thing is that YouTube favors people making their own videos. So if let's say I wrote something on a piece of paper, okay, and I videoed that and I uploaded it to YouTube, okay. Now they're my words, they're my thoughts, whatever, okay. Now I did that and I uploaded it to YouTube. I would never ever get a copyright strike on that. Now if somebody took that video or portion of that video and they showed it on their channel, okay, even if it was a clip, even if they copied the words or a portion of the words, and I saw that or was made aware of that, I could put in a copyright strike on it, because that's what it's about.
We even uploaded
a video with Space 1999,
you know,
theme on the front of it. Yeah, we uploaded that. That was taken down.
That was taken down.
We really loved the guitar bit. Wow, wow. You know, we loved it, but we had to take it down, and we edited the video and put it back up again, because that's what you've got to expect when you're using other people's material. You know, a lot of people. Yeah, sure. But you've got you don't know who's watching your videos.
Absolutely,
you don't know who's watching them. And to be fair, YouTube's copyright database is probably,
especially with the European
legislation that's coming. The copyright.
They've probably clamped down.
Clamped down.
Do you know that's a load of rubbish, though? Do you know it's all a load of rubbish? Because I realised myself, I was an eBayer, right? And I was very unhappy with eBay, and I rang up, I can't even remember where I rang now, but I rang up, it might have been eBay or somewhere else. And basically, you can't do anything, because eBay wasn't registered here. It was registered somewhere like Switzerland. So if I want anything to do with them, I have to actually go to the European court and go to Switzerland and do it. So what it is there's nothing you can do with the law here. Our law does not protect us. So this whole thing of bringing the European thing in is a con. Because there's nothing they can do. Because YouTube, for instance, are registered, probably not even in America. I don't know where YouTube. It's an American company. You never know. They could be registered in Europe or Canada or anywhere. That's where you go. It's their law, where the thing is registered and comes from. So all this stuff about everybody else's laws is a load of rubbish, because we use their platform and their laws, not Europe's laws. Yeah, we're using their. So this whole thing about Article 13 is a con, and it's been used against us when it can't even work in court.
I don't even know much about Article 13.
But it's protecting even things like images and
images. I mean, you've got to be careful, even if you show an image nowadays, or on your channel or on a video, if you include an image, even that could be copywritten. So, at the end of the day, it's encouraging people to make their own stuff, to be more creative, to come up with their own ideas, to make their own videos, rather than rely on material from other people. Because that's what it's all about.
You can use the news. You can use anything that's been on a news channel. You can use that.
Oh yeah, the news is a NASA. It's because NASA is a government body.
Yes, public body. Yeah.
Public body, like even the BBC, I'm sure, is pretty okay to use certain material. But at the end of the day, it encourages people to be more creative. That's what it's doing.
But at the end of the day,
I wouldn't use BBC. They'll strike you. No, you can't use BBC stuff. But you can use it if it's on the news. So say the Sky News or CNN played a bit of BBC. You can use that then, because it's been on the news. But you can't just go to a BBC thing and take it. I don't think you can. I think you'll get the same thing as
to use it. I think a lot of the time, if you're not using other people's material, you're fine. It's like this hangout we're doing now. It will be fine because you're not using anyone else's material. It'll be fine. I can't see any problem. Can you? What about us?
Fine. Well, we're kind of getting to the point where we're beginning to realise, through all our endeavours,
absolutely, all our endeavours,
that Man knows, this is mankind.
Mankind
knows very little about the world he lives in.
Absolutely. Mankind knows very little about the true nature of reality.
Man knows a lot about the world he's created for himself.
Absolutely. He knows what...
like how a car works.
Absolutely. He knows what copper is.
Like how computers work.
How copper can interact with other materials.
Yeah.
Because he makes copper.
Absolutely. But when it comes to the natural world...
When it comes to the natural world...
And very basic, fundamental things like...
Light. Absolute light.
Like the air.
Absolutely. Like water.
Hasn't a clue.
Hasn't a clue about what the true nature of all those things are.
Yep.
He's lost. Absolutely. And yet, so what he's doing is that he's projecting a kind of convincing reality to people so that people kind of just think that man does know what water is, what air is, what
light is,
what the sun is, what the moon is. Do you know what I mean? It's a convincing reality. Obviously, it doesn't convince everyone, of course, but he knows very little. Mankind knows very little.
Do you know the thing we're all facing there is that the people don't know that they don't know. They think they know, but they don't know.
Yeah, they think they know, yeah.
They think they know, but they don't know.
But they don't know. They don't know anything, you know. We're still getting people who are commenting on videos that we've done about water, and like at the end of the day, we're thinking in the back of our minds when we're reading through their comments that they haven't a clue. They really don't know, but they think they do. It's just, but they're living in this dream.
The really sad thing is, I mean, I'm not saying that you do, and I'm not saying that you watch the television, I'm not saying that I do anymore, I'm saying as a whole, the people have trusted what we're given, the establishment, thinking that they're looking after us and the news is real. And all that basically I can see is, we're the Blade Runners, we just last a bit longer than 3 years like they did in the film. Truman Show, you know, like Arnie, he gets to Mars in Total Recall, and he knows who the baddies are, and as he comes through that door from where he's coming from, you know, they've come in on the whatever it is shuttle thing to get there, and he goes in, and then the television comes on with all the news with the baddies on it, and that's where we are. These films are Matrix. It's all these are the truth.
The dream.
Yes.
We were talking to somebody today actually, and he used the word Matrix, but we'd like to use the word dream. Because it's more of a dream rather than a matrix. When you look at people's behaviour, when you look at the things in behaviour.
Oh, you mean because everybody's in a dream state? You mean?
When you look at the things.
Sorry.
Everybody's in a dream state.
Sorry. Look at people's behaviour. When you look at the things in, think their reality and they dream it. They think that.
I know, that's why my NASA video, I put one out when there was 2 astronauts. They were supposed to be live, Boeing and something or other, about 2013, and they go outside and one of them is paused. Yeah, it's supposed to be live. You can actually see he's paused. One's moving around and one's paused. And what I say over the top up to the video is, when they're making a reality that doesn't exist, what they're doing, they're taking your freedom away.
Yeah, but a lot of people want to think that this reality is true, is real.
Yeah.
They want the dream.
Well, because
it's just Dallas and Dynasty. All the government, when the president comes out, when there's those meetings, when there's this, it's all Dallas and Dynasty. It's all a drama.
Yeah. It's all there to.
The world's a stage.
The world's a stage. You know, it's all rubbish, really. At the end of the day, I mean, I'd prefer people just to be real, rather than come to me and talk to me and pretend. You know, pretends about how happy they are, or you know, blah blah blah, or how much of a lovely time they had when they went on holiday.
Oh, right, yeah.
Or you know, that the Earth's a spinning ball.
That's what the British people are like. Let's not talk about it.
That's what a lot of people are like.
Right. Yeah, a lot of people don't want to talk about a lot of the things that matter.
Real life.
Absolutely.
People don't do it. We've noticed, I mean, over the past few months, we've even begun to realise that there's an awful lot of globe deniers even flat earthers and globe deniers who don't want to do reality. They don't want to do reality. They come across.
Well, do you know what my motto is on this one, boys? You'll like this one. I think there's 3 types of people, right? There's the globe people. Then there's those that think they're flat earthers. And then there's the flat earthers. Because when you're a real flat earther, you are a different kind of person, different spiritually, different. Your vibration is different. You don't run everything through an ego. And those that think they're flat earthers and all this arguing and all that stuff that's going on, you know which certain channels they are. They are doing everything through. It's all about me still. That's the globe way.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. That's because they're not a flat earther.
They're not flat earthers. That's why. And yeah, but it's bad when people like that represent flat earthers.
Yeah.
Because a flat earther is here to help everybody, aren't you? You're helping everybody by understanding that everything, air, water, it's all, even how things, crystallize or rust, it's all a lie. You're here and your information is to help.
Well, yeah, but nobody knows why it happens.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
no, all of the basic processes, that we see, evaporation. Why does liquid water evaporate? Why does it do it? How does it do it? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody will ever know.
What I'm saying is, though, you give your information away free, and some of these other people, they want something. They want something back. They're doing it for another reason. That's the bit that upsets me. They're not doing it for the whole. They're not doing it to help mankind. They're doing it to further themselves. That's the bit I don't like.
Well, I kind of like...
Are you talking about the people in between?
Because we noticed that people were using our channel, they're using our platform. They were using us, basically.
The trouble is that... but you've said that... you've said that... a lot of people who like the globe deniers and all this lot, really, they're just really peeved that they've been lied to.
Yeah, basically.
They really are peeved that they've been lied to. And my message to people like that is, well, hey, a lot of people are lied to. You're not the only ones. Not join the club.
And not just about the shape of the earth.
And not just about the shape of the earth either. It goes much, much deeper than the shape of the earth. It annoys me that you've got certain people who say that the flat earth is the biggest lie, or the globe earth is the biggest lie out, and yet it's not. That's nothing.
That's superficial.
That's superficial, because the shape of the earth doesn't really affect people's lives. It's when you can find the lies and the rubbish that affect directly people's lives. Now that's when you've got it.
Well, it's no different to we were talking to this guy who was promoting British Heart Foundation. He was collecting money. He was on our wavelength, and
totally.
Even he was quite young, and even he was coming up with the idea that if they found a cure, they'd lose the industry.
The money would go.
The money
would go. There's no business. No jobs. Very few jobs. Then.
So are they going to keep it going without finding a cure, just to create jobs and just
absolutely? It's like if you was a police a police chief constable, and you implemented a zero tolerance. You got all of your officers to work properly, and not be laid back with crime. Let's do it. Let's deal with it. Let's sort it out. Let's get a reduced levels of crime in this area, because that's my job. So what happens is, over a period of months, years, you get reduced levels of crime, but then on the same token, you start getting solicitors moaning, judges moaning, probation officers moaning, social workers moaning because they haven't got any work.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. What a system we're living in.
Yeah, I know.
When you think about it could be so much better for 100% sure.
And the people, these in-betweeners, would support all that.
Yeah, I mean, the in-betweeners. Yeah, I mean, we feel that the in-betweeners do. I mean, we often say that there are flat earthers who like the globe society, and that's where the in-betweeners are. They like to use their phones. They like the car. They like the way of life, the lifestyles that the globe society has to offer. Whereas, we would think a lot of it is rubbish. It could be an awful lot better.
Can I say something very quickly to that? We're in a society, and we've been like it for quite a long time now, with money and items.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the problem. The problem is that instead of money being the exchange of medium, it's turned into the most important thing, and the people are just forgotten. That's the bit that upsets me.
Absolutely, yeah.
There's no.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
This society, the in-betweeners and people in the globe society would much rather put money first than people.
Money first before people.
A true flat earther would put people first.
Absolutely.
And not money.
You can, just to give you an example, just to exemplify what you've just said, Karen, and that is, you in this society, in a modern Western society, if I'm right, you can probably extend it to all modern Western societies, but you can earn more money, for flogging cars, than you can for looking after a fellow human being. How sad is that? That is so sad. How much value do we place on other human beings?
If you don't have the people, you don't have anything. And what it's created, especially in our countries, like I said, is a stiff British upper lip where we go, let's not talk about it. So imagine how frustrated people are here.
Oh, that's going. I think, Karen, you'll get that in a lot of societies. A lot of people, even in America, in French societies, even though it's socialist or whatever, even many European countries, a lot of people won't talk about certain things because they come under the umbrella of being taboo. A lot of cultures across the earth have taboo subjects.
Yeah, because
topics that are taboo.
People are the same wherever you go.
Absolutely, yeah, they're all the same.
Try and quote a Beatles line.
No, that's a Paul McCartney, isn't it?
Paul McCartney.
Yeah, ebony.
Oh, right, yeah.
Ivory.
Thing is, can I ask you something? Do you boys think you're more empathic as well?
Than who?
Just as people, you're empaths. Do you think you're more like that, empathic?
Empathic?
No, to be fair, I think we're just more understanding because we have a.
Well, we can empathise.
We can understand.
We can understand.
We understand. I don't think I'm empathic, but I say that I'm understanding because I can understand. Like if somebody was saying to me, I'm having a hard time. My wife's, me and my wife are having problems and blah blah blah, and there's kids involved. I would understand what he's going through.
Yeah, because we can understand.
I don't think I could be empathic, but
we can understand the hassles that it brings.
We can absolutely, because it's a very stressful and traumatic experience. We can understand that.
Yeah. My point being that if you don't understand or empathic, then how does anything change? Because the other lot just think of themselves. They don't think about you. They just think of themselves.
This is the thing. I mean, it all depends. It all depends whether you want. See, my whole understanding of flat Earth is simply it's all about the individual. It's got nothing to do with money. It's got nothing to do with status. It's got nothing to do with leadership. It's got nothing to do with politics. It's got nothing to do with any other opinion. It's about the individual. It's all about the individual becoming more aware of himself or herself as a true human being,
and their environment,
and
the people
around them in their environment. That's what flat Earth is all about. So essentially, if you're tuned into yourself, you're going to be more understanding, and you're going to be looking at people more in your environment rather than things and objects, possessions, money, and all this kind of stuff.
Whereas your in-betweeners or your people in the globe society would tend to just look at themselves.
Yeah, they tend to look at themselves. I'd probably go with that. That flat earthers would tend to be more people.
Yeah, basically.
Whereas, your in-betweeners and your globy people, they're more money-orientated. They're more in their head.
And the whole thing is set up now so that you don't even know who your neighbour is, don't talk to anybody. That's the way society is set up, isn't it?
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Yeah, but on another note, on a positive note, I mean, it's it's only a phase. We're only going to go through a phase where people are like this. You know, people will eventually get fed up with it.
Fed up being lonely.
Fed up being lonely. I mean, you know, I've been made.
Well, we're very narcissistic now, aren't we? It's a very narcissistic society we're living in right now. It's just.
One thing that is good to recognise, and that is even being narcissistic is just a trend. It will come and it will go.
Absolutely.
And then you'll get a new generation coming in. Not as many as before.
I think what it is in 2012, I'm not saying it wasn't happening before, because it was, because there are videos out showing you what's on the national anthem in America. When they slowed it down, it says things like, government is God, rebellion is forbid, is not allowed, and obey, obey, obey. Now that is on the national anthem from the 60s, but in 2012, I think it was, Obama passed this law that the media can lie to us. And since that moment, it's ramped up 1,000 million %.
But they've been lying to us.
But the media's been lying to the American public for years.
Yes, look at the Apollo.
Look at the Apollo, you know. Yeah, I know, yeah.
That's why people shouldn't watch the news.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I would like to add, though, Karen, that I mean, I can remember saying on a hangout a while back that a lot of people aren't watching television. More people are online. They're going on YouTube. They're watching alternative kind of views because they're fed up with watching
mainstream.
That, you know, mainstream has become a turn-off
for a lot of people.
You know,
who wants to sit and watch a TV program when the people on the program are all smiling,
are all seem to be benefiting from, whereas you're not.
Yeah,
you know, you're having to work a lot of the time or whatever. You can't afford this or that, and yet you're watching something on the TV where you know that the stars on it get paid like £100,000 a year. Yeah. I mean, come on, that just does.
Well, even more than that.
Even more than that, yeah.
Well, let's just hope people do turn that lie vision off, because it's a way of programming the people. So people don't realise that the television, everything that's on there, they want you to watch this, they want you to buy this, they want you, so they're controlling you and everything you think, and you don't realise it. So I think it's good that people turn but you know what? Anyway, I don't think any of these platforms are very good, to be honest. I think they're all there to control us, even this one that we're going on.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is that we have a very philosophical view on it all. I mean, a lot of people talk about the New World Order, Illuminati, Freemasons, all that. We don't do that because
it's depressing.
Well, not only is it depressing, but we just don't do that because we don't need to. We just look at it in a very philosophical way, because a lot of the lies that people experience in their life, they start from the people who are around them.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not just, this conspiracy, you know, doesn't involve, you know, all of these groups like the Illuminati or the Freemasons.
Yeah.
It involves the people around you. And at the end of the day, you're going to have to think to yourself, well, why should I be talking about the Illuminati and the Freemasons all the time? No. It's the people around me that are messed up.
You can have someone who goes into work one day. They go into work, and then the manager asks them to go into the office. So they go into the office, and then they get the sack, or they're suspended. They go home, and then on their way home, they're thinking, their mind's going wild, going crazy, wondering who knew about this.
Yeah, paranoia
sets in, and then they think about things that work colleagues have said a few days before.
Absolutely.
And then the penny drops.
And
then they begin to realise that other people knew about it.
Absolutely, of course. Yeah.
And not them.
They were the last to know.
Yeah.
Really. But you've got to, it kind of like puts you in a very I don't know, it kind of puts you in a very awkward position, really. But you've got to be philosophical about it, really, at the end of the day. That's why we don't. I mean, it doesn't really interest me. I've got no interest in Freemasons, Illuminati, New World Order, nothing at all.
Well
like that.
Yeah,
I've got no interest.
Our understanding of the New World Order is simple, very simple, and that is Remember George W. Bush when he said about
the rule of it's got to be the rule of the law rather than the rule of the jungle.
And a lot of people, I mean, a lot of people might not want to hear this, but unfortunately, we are animals.
Yeah, we're animals.
We're no different to your dog, to your cat,
your cow, your lion,
horse, to your lion, your tiger,
your bird.
We're animals.
Your seagull, your seal, your walrus.
Yeah. What do animals do?
I know they are treating us like animals.
We're animals.
That's how they're treating us. Like, we can't be trusted, and we're a bunch of animals. I think they really can't wait to send the military in. Like, we're killing, we're doing this, but none of it's happening. They're creating it all like they did 9/11.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. I'm just the point I'm trying to get to is that we are animals.
We are animals, though. That's the problem.
Although people up top would want us not to behave like animals.
Absolutely, of course.
And the only way they can get us to not behave like animals is for us to follow a certain
pattern,
protocol,
a pattern of behaviour.
A pattern of behaviour, yeah.
Absolutely, of course.
And that's where the control comes into.
That's where the laws come in. That's where the conditioning comes in. That's where the TV and the media. That's where the dreams come into it.
If you went shopping, here we go. I'll ask you a question. If you went shopping, what would you think if you saw people lapping up water from a puddle?
Absolutely, drinking from a puddle in the street.
Drinking from a puddle in the street. What? Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely.
Now that's something that people in this society don't want. You know, they don't want people doing that. It's shameful.
But you know what? They treat us like we're animals, and they keep treating us like we're animals. All the things they're doing, all the lies about everything.
It's shameful. Well, I've only seen. Okay, I'm going to be devil's advocate here.
Yeah, but you and me don't watch. We don't watch TV.
We don't watch TV, or So we're unaware of the information you're unaware. We're unaware of the information you are aware of yourself. But throughout my whole entire life, okay, I've only seen one person, okay, walk around in bare feet, and that's simply because I'm sure he chose to. Everyone else I've seen wears some kind of shoes or flip-flops or footwear of some description. Now,
do you know, even on that one, do you know what? You know, don't you, boys? The negative ions in the ground are really, really good for you. But the moment you put a plastic shoe on, it stops that negative ions coming through the plastic. So they've made us wear plastic shoes.
Right, okay, yeah, sure. I understand. Well, I'd like to know where you're getting your ions from, because, you know, they've never been proved to exist. So, you know, they're only theorized. Well, I don't. Unless somebody can show me that there is charge in the earth. See, I know there's a magnetic field.
Yeah. See, you and me.
I'm aware of that.
I mean, we have one thing we got to do with it on our channel, and that is we got to look. We've started to look into light, and we've kind of looked at the information which was put forward 250 years ago by Faraday, saying that light is electromagnetic, and yet we don't think from what he did.
You can come to that. Any rational person can arrive at that conclusion, can they?
Couldn't arrive.
Yeah, they can't arrive at that conclusion. Yeah, any rational person could arrive at that conclusion. Yeah, but not a rational one.
So we're looking at light, and we're thinking, well, you know, that made us think, well, light isn't electromagnetic.
Can't be electromagnetic.
They've whopped it in the spectrum, the electromagnetic spectrum, the visible light. In the electromagnetic spectrum, because it's the only place where man can put it.
It's the only place, absolutely.
Can't put it anywhere else.
Can't put it anywhere else. And he also knows that a lot of light is generated through electric and electrical sources and magnetic sources.
Like your light bulb.
Like your light bulb. You know, you get a current passing through a wire that's very thin. You'll get resistance, high resistance. The wire will start to glow, and it will give off some light. So that light has been generated electrically. When you look at man's society, Western society, electricity and magnetism is within computers, within TVs, within lots of electrical gadgets. And without electricity and magnetism, he could not do half the stuff of what he does now. He's fully dependent on electricity and magnetism. So it's understandable why he lives and thinks. He only thinks in electromagnetic ways because it reflects his society. Think about it.
But
he's limited in his actual knowledge of the real world, and the real phenomena of light.
Yeah, but where's the electricity and the magnetism in a candle?
Absolutely, you light a candle. You show anyone,
there
please.
Isn't any.
If anyone listens to this, show us some electricity and magnetism to do with that light being emitted from the flame of a candle. There isn't any.
So there's a lot of fundamental things that a lot of people are taking on board.
Absolutely.
That, in our opinion, is absolutely wrong.
It's wrong to be doing that because there's no proof. I mean, so getting back to your ions, your understanding of ions. I mean, it's a great little understanding, but is anyone out there got any proof that ions are actually real?
Yeah, because then
there isn't any.
Then you've got to show if the Earth is charged, if it's electrically charged, where did that electricity come from?
Absolutely, of course.
And then you've got to ask yourself.
But nobody knows what electricity is. Well, they'd say it's a flow of electrons. But then when you go through a medium like air or water, for example, they call them ions. So what's the difference between an ion and an electron? Nobody can show you an electron. Nobody can show you an ion. How do you know they exist? You don't know they exist. In the imagination, they're great. So, mathematically as well, you can conjure up all of these facts and figures about ions and electrons, but they're just a figment of your imagination.
Yeah. So
it's ridiculous.
You're beginning to question. I mean, there's some information on magnetism that we're going to put forward in a video, in a forthcoming video, because we tend to think, if it's quite easy to draw. It's like the aurora borealis. Here we go. Good example. Aurora borealis, the northern lights.
Northern lights.
Now, a lot of people would say that that's electromagnetic
field or electromagnetic waves.
How do we know that?
Absolutely.
How do we know that? Is it something that's beyond man's physical comprehension?
Absolutely. But if you think about it logically, all of man's devices that he uses in order to monitor, to test for things, a lot of them are electrically driven. They use electricity. So they've obviously going to probably have some kind of electrical,
influence
in order for them to say, well, what we've done is we've got our aurora borealis electromagnetic detector, and we've got it out, and it's reading 45. This is the reading it's measuring, picking up. So because it's an electromagnetic, we've created this machine, this detector. That means what we're detecting has to be electromagnetic.
But how does it?
Absolutely, I know. This is why it's just ridiculous.
Because there's a lot in the world that is beyond our comprehension,
beyond man's imagination.
Even the simplest of things.
Absolutely, not one. We've been doing our channel for 4 years now.
4 years.
4 years, and yet I've not seen anyone come up with a firm, conclusive view on what the moon is and what the light is. From the moon.
Because
not one person.
Nobody can ever know.
Absolutely, nobody will ever know.
Because it's out of our reach.
It's beyond our imagination. Yeah. You could look at it for the whole of your life, and you'll never ever come up to a firm conclusion as to what it is. But these people, there's a lot of people out there who seem to only think that they can find the answers, but they can't. They're just whiling away the hours through their life. As they pass through life.
Yeah.
Asking ridiculous questions, frivolous chatter, and all this kind of stuff.
In some respects, I mean, that's why our channel is quite isn't popular. Because we don't dream. We don't dream. We just say it as it is.
Absolutely, yeah.
If we don't know, we'll say we don't know.
Or if we think that it's just our opinion on something, it's just our opinion, and we'll say that.
But we won't say that that the sun is positively charged and the moon is negatively charged.
We won't do that because we don't know. We can never know that.
How can you prove that?
How can you prove that? We won't say something that cannot be demonstrated, or
If it, I mean, we would go. I mean, we tend. I suppose we tend.
We don't
to
mind
liken,
asking questions, but
we tend to liken us very much with Dell in Scotland because he's always won. Let's see some demonstrable evidence.
absolutely, if like
Let's
your ions,
demonstrate it.
if you think there's ions in water, okay, or if you think there's electrons that flow through a piece of wire, well, let's see the electrons. Where's your proof for that?
Yeah.
Because the electricity could be explained in other ways. Absolutely. I mean, from what I've looked at, nobody knows what electricity is.
Oh, yeah, because that's what
Nobody does.
That's what a lot of.
Yeah, but it depends what you mean by energy. What do you mean by energy?
Yeah, because we breathe it. We're breathing it. The free energy, we're breathing it. So it can't be that bad in a way, because we would die.
Yeah, but it depends what you mean by energy. What do you mean by energy? Hot air rises,
yeah.
but you've got to understand. Well, what do you mean by air for one, and what do you mean by what was the other
Energy.
Energy. Well, I can understand what you mean by energy, but I don't know what you actually mean by energy to be able to assess what you're saying and think, oh yeah, I know what you're saying,
and then
understand,
and then it raises
fully.
It raises other questions like, well, how can it be free energy when you have to heat the air in order for it to rise?
You've got to heat the air for it to rise. So what you're going to use, you're going to expend energy in order to heat the air for it to rise. The only time I think that we've got free energy is when you don't have to pay for it. Well, I was talking to somebody the other day about Tesla, and she's well into her mud floods. She's well into her star forts, bastion forts. Okay, and she mentioned Tesla, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm just going to be very honest here, okay? But they're just my opinions. Now, I can't understand why people have a lot of flat earthers, a lot of alternative thinkers, I suppose, have placed Tesla on a very high pedestal. I can't understand why. I don't get it.
Because he's made.
Well, what was it? A snail? Or
snail. Oh yeah.
Or what? I don't know. An alien? I mean, Tesla could have been made up.
He looked like a human being from his photo.
Yeah, but was it his photo? You're relying the information about Tesla. You're relying on history, and history is.
Well, you don't know, do you?
You don't know whether it's true or not. But let's go on the assumption, okay, that the information about Tesla is kind of kosher. And there was a guy called Tesla who came from Eastern Europe, went over to America, and helped devise the induction generator, which then created, for the first ever time, AC current. Now, the AC current could be stepped up. You can transmit it over long distances, step down, voila, you can distribute it across a whole national grid system. Okay, but at the end of the day, when I look at the story of Tesla, I think to myself, well, all he really created, was that induction generator, which created AC current.
Yeah, which allowed for the distribution. Yeah, but he's got lots of patents. But think about this. Apart from the Tesla,
yeah, but lots of people put patents in. Lots of people.
Oh yeah, loads of people put patents in all the time. But think about this. Tesla is. If you walk down the street and you went up to someone and said, if I just say Tesla, what first comes to your mind?
Car.
Car would be one. What would be another one?
Electricity.
Coil.
Oh, Tesla coil.
Tesla coil. Yeah.
Tesla coil. What about the induction generator?
A lot of people won't think about.
What about the induction generator? Absolutely, yeah, because he was the guy who basically
just doing that demonstrate how much he's ingrained into our
consciousness, the collective consciousness. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Because you're right. That's a good example, that one.
So he couldn't have contributed, because you've got to remember also, round about that time, there were many other people who were playing around with electricity.
Absolutely, loads of people. Because around that time, when you had the time of Edison, there was big competition, because they knew people knew that they could harness electrical energy, I'll use that in dittos, to create and develop their future societies. They could build upon what they're learning. Electromagnetic society. They can build upon that through electricity. So you had loads of people studying AC current. For example, they knew that, for example, that a lot of current would get lost over long distances. They knew that. DC. Edison was playing around with DC. Tesla come up with the AC induction generator, which produced AC current. And it was who knows who developed the actual national grid system to step up the transformers, to step up the AC current, and then transmit it over long distance, and then to step down. But I mean, it's possible that one of the things that could have come. It's the way you want to interpret the information. I mean, there's Tesla talking about. Yeah, it's like a lot of people. Tesla. I think there was a quote of Tesla about creating free energy. I want to create free energy for people.
Send it wirelessly.
Well, you see, the thing is, what he could have been referring to was simply the case that you step up your AC current and you transmit it over a long distance, and then you step down that AC current, but you step it down to a higher voltage than what you had at the beginning to step up. So you've essentially created free energy. It could be that. It could be in that system where the free energy has come about. And the whole thing about his Walden Cliff, I mean, all that could be just rubbish. Could be, it could be rubbish. I mean, if I was walking around the countryside and I saw this tower and I thought, oh, what's going on there? And somebody said to me, oh, it's over there. They send out electrical energy wirelessly. I'd be thinking, well, how do they actually do that? I can't, why is it I've not seen a video on YouTube of somebody transmitting electrical energy wirelessly over, say, 3 meters?
It does.
I can't.
It does remind us of, it reminds me of when we watched a video about someone using water as a fuel for a car, which is absolutely rubbish.
Yeah, you can't do that.
But the person who they were interviewing was Bob Lazar.
Bob
Lazar, we all know, was from Area 51. He allegedly reverse engineered this alien spacecraft. And you think to yourself, Bob Lazar, he gets around a bit, telling his little tales.
Absolutely,
because that's all he's doing.
Absolutely. So when we do look at the information, we've got to really look at information that we're receiving with a very down to earth perspective on it.
Because really, if it was achievable, to send electricity wirelessly, if it was achievable, why hasn't anyone done it?
Why hasn't anyone done it? Why is it?
You could send electric companies could do away with pylons. They could just send it wirelessly to a little substation and then distribute it.
And then you've also got the problem of how does that wireless electricity, how is it going to interfere with and affect wildlife, human beings?
Can I just say, though, as much as I don't want to sort of end things, I said to you as we started, we go for about an hour, but we've just gone for just over an hour, but go for another 10 minutes and finish off with what any messages you'd like to say, any experiments you're doing, any flat smacking you're doing.
I'm going to be making a guitar soon.
Oh right,
yeah. There you go. How's that?
No, we are actually doing some stuff with the double slit experiment.
Yeah. It's very. It's very, very riveting. It's pretty boring, actually, looking at light. I mean, light's uninteresting, really, isn't it? Light. I mean, nobody knows what it is. Nobody will ever know what it is. We will never know what it is.
But it's good because we've actually.
I put one out on Sun and Moon about that. This guy was trying to show you that you don't actually see light. You only see it when it touches something else. But if you put your hand up, you're not going to see the light. But it's there. So you're right. How can you?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. The point is, but how do you know it's light that how do you know that light is the reflection? the illumination. I would agree that you don't see light. Nobody can see light, but all you see is the illumination. But the illumination may be something totally different to the light that's around us, you know, in a lit room. You know, nobody knows what it is. It's crazy, you know. We're having this concurrent theme come up, and that is man can never know his true reality. Yeah. You know, if I'm talking to someone...
With the year 2019, we think we've gone to space. We think we're so techno and modern and everything, and actually we don't know.
Absolutely right. We only know what we experience.
And what you can do with stuff.
And what you can do with stuff, and through your experiences.
Yeah.
You know, human beings are experiencers. At the end of the day, they can only experience life. They can experience nature. They experience their thoughts. You know, we're experiencers. That's all we are. That's all we can ever be.
Yeah,
you know. Well, that's it. That will round off on a.
But we've got
pretty good note.
But we've also got to do our hydrogen storage.
Yeah,
tank.
we've got to do our hydrogen storage tank because they're quite interesting, aren't they?
Yeah, because we've got 1, 2, 3. We've got 4 bottles of hydrogen that are in different storage
facilities, containers. Yeah, methods,
and we've got to kind of look at the results because we've left them for about three months now.
Yeah, and 4 months. We do intend to actually test the gas to see whether it still is hydrogen.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because we might find that the little space of gas that's remaining, possibly, when we light it, it doesn't light at all.
Absolutely. So then it makes you wonder that
whether you got hydrogen in there. Where did the hydrogen go?
But it has, in some ways, it has cemented our understanding that hydrogen is just pressure.
Yeah, it's just pressure, yeah.
For a lot of people, find it really hard to understand that. But when you're making something, especially man, when he makes a metal, he applies a lot of pressure to the materials that go into making it.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it's that pressure that binds everything together. Because when you push something, it's a bit like a glue, really, isn't it? When you press two surfaces together, you're pushing out
you're pushing out everything
between them.
Absolutely.
So there is nothing between them, and it's that keeps it all together. So when water comes along and releases these things, when it's released,
breaks it down, it opens up.
It opens up and releases.
Absolutely, it's amazing. Absolutely. Yeah, no, yeah. I bet some people still don't understand.
No, it is quite hard to.
No, I think it's because we're missing out. We're missing out explaining something else. That's
all. Oh, right, yeah, possibly.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. So.
Yes, and thank you very much for that, boys. Thank you so much for telling us and showing us, and we love what you do. Can I just say, Patricia?
Yeah.
Is Patricia there? Patricia wants to have a word as we're ending now. I'm just letting her know because it might take her a second or two to take her microphone off.
Right, okay.
But she could have heard that wrong. Maybe she heard it wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd need to, you know.
Can I just say though, as much as I don't want to sort of end things, I said to you as we started, we go for about an hour, but we've just gone for just over an hour, but go for another 10 minutes and finish off with what, you know, any messages you'd like to say, any experiments you're doing, any flat smacking you're doing.
I'm going to be making a guitar soon.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. How's that?
Yeah. No, we're actually we are actually doing some stuff with the double slit experiment.
Yeah, it's very it's very, very riveting. It's pretty boring actually looking at light. I mean, light's uninteresting, really, isn't it? Light. I mean, nobody knows what it is. Nobody will ever know what it is. We will never know what it is.
But it's good because we've actually.
Can I just say though, as much as I don't want to sort of end things, I said to you as we started, we go for about an hour, but we've just gone for just over an hour, but go for another 10 minutes and finish off with what, you know, any messages you'd like to say, any experiments you're doing, any flat smacking you're doing.
I'm going to be making a guitar soon.
I'm going to be making a guitar soon.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. How's that?
Yeah. No, we're actually we are actually doing some stuff with the double slit experiment.
Yeah, yeah. It's very it's very very riveting. It's pretty boring actually looking at looking at light. I mean, light's uninteresting, really, isn't it? Light. I mean, nobody knows what it is. Nobody will ever know what it is. We will never know what it is.
But it's good because we've actually,
no, yeah, sure. Yeah, the point is, but how do you know it's light how do you know that light is the reflection, the illumination? I would agree that you don't see light. Nobody can see light, but all you see is the illumination. But the illumination may be something totally different to the light that's around us, you know, in a lit room. You know, nobody knows what it is. It's crazy, you know, we're having this concurrent theme come up, and that is man can never know his true reality. You know, if I'm talking to someone,
I think what you're saying is, with the year 2019, we think we've gone to space. We think we're so techno and modern and everything, and actually we don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right. We only know what we experience.
And what you can do with stuff.
And what you can do with stuff. And through your experiences.
Yeah.
You know, human beings are experiencers. At the end of the day, they can only experience life. They can experience nature. They experience their thoughts. You know, we're experiencers. That's all we are. That's all we can ever be.
Yeah.
You know. Well, that's it. That will round off on a.
But we've got
pretty good note.
But we've also got to do our hydrogen storage.
Yeah, we've got to do our hydrogen storage tank because they're quite interesting, aren't they?
Yeah, because we got 1, 2, 3. We got 4 bottles of hydrogen that are in different storage
facilities, containers. Yeah, methods,
and we've got to kind of look at the results because we've left them for about three months now.
Yeah, and 4 months. We do intend to actually test the gas to see whether it still is hydrogen.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because we might find that the little space of gas that's remaining, possibly, when we light it, it doesn't light at all.
Absolutely. So then it makes you wonder that
whether you got hydrogen in there. But where did the hydrogen go?
But it has, in some ways, it has cemented our understanding that hydrogen is just pressure.
Yeah, it's just pressure, yeah.
For a lot of people find it really hard to understand that. But when you're making something, especially man, when he makes a metal, he applies a lot of pressure to the materials that go into making it.
Absolutely,
yeah. And it's that pressure that binds everything together. Because when you push something, it's a bit like a glue, really, isn't it? When you press two surfaces together, you're pushing out
you're pushing out everything
between them.
Absolutely.
So there is nothing between them, and it's that keeps it all together. So when water comes along and releases these things, when it's released,
breaks it down, it opens up.
It opens up and releases.
Absolutely, it's amazing. Absolutely. Yeah, no, yeah. I bet some people still don't understand.
No, it is quite hard to.
No, I think it's because we're missing out. We're missing out explaining something else. That's
all. Oh right, yeah, possibly.
Yeah. Anyway.
No, it's rubbish.
It's all rubbish. Absolutely, yeah. Oxygen, and well, in our opinion, oxygen isn't a constituent of air. Yeah. Oxygen is a man-made processed gas which comes from air.
Yeah.
So and water's definitely not H2O. That's for sure.
Absolutely, and we don't breathe out CO2.
Absolutely, and we don't breathe in oxygen. We breathe in water gas.
Well, yeah,
gaseous water
vapor.
That's our view, anyway. And fish don't breathe oxygen,
and it's water vapor that helps pressurize our bodies.
Yeah, I think a good one is that if anyone thinks that fish breathe in oxygen through their gills, just imagine if you've got a fish and it's just inhaled, as it were, oxygen. Okay, would it not float to the surface of the sea?
Well, yeah, because it's just,
and it doesn't do that. So we can discount the idea that fish breathe oxygen.
Yeah, I know, yeah. But it just goes to show that the fundamentals of what everyone's been taught
are all wrong.
Are all in our opinion.
Okay,
all rubbish.
There's no proof to support them to be true.
Oh, well, yeah,
that would be better.
You mentioned the word a couple of times. Assumption. We're all assuming because we don't have the knowledge, because it's always been put there in front of us. You know, you don't need to look into this because we've already found the answers. But it's an assumption that that answer is the correct answer because we don't know. We can't.
Absolutely.
And it's
Yeah,
people like you that are actually looking into this. I'm absolutely fascinated, to be honest. You know, and it's.
Oh, thanks very much.
Very kind, Patricia, to say. But one thing it does do, and that it puts you in a better position. It gives you a better perspective to go out and explore and interact with your natural environment, which is brilliant, you know.
And also, everybody realised that they're no different to everybody else.
Yeah, we're all equal. Yeah,
we're all the same.
Absolutely.
No one's better than anybody else.
Yeah, because I put one out on Sun and Moon about that. This guy was trying to show you that you don't actually see light. You only see it when it touches something else. But if you put your hand up, you're not going to see the light. But it's there. So you're right. How can you?
Yeah.
How do you know it's light how do you know that light is the reflection? The illumination. I would agree that you don't see light. Nobody can see light. But all you see is the illumination. But the illumination may be something totally different to the light that's around us, you know, in a lit room. You know, nobody knows what it is. It's crazy, you know. We're having this concurrent theme come up, and that is man can never know his true reality. Yeah. You know, if I'm talking to someone, absolutely. You're absolutely right. We only know what we experience.
And what you can do with stuff.
And through your experiences.
Yeah.
You know, human beings are experiencers. At the end of the day, they can only experience life. They can experience nature. They experience their thoughts. You know, we're experiencers. That's all we are. That's all we can ever be.
Yeah.
You know. Well, that's it. That will round off on a pretty good note.
But we've also got to do our hydrogen storage.
Yeah, we've got to do our hydrogen storage tank because they're quite interesting, aren't they?
Yeah, because we've got 1, 2, 3. We've got 4 bottles of hydrogen that are in different storage
facilities, containers. Yeah, methods,
and we've got to kind of look at the results because we've left them for about three months now.
Yeah, and 4 months. We do intend to actually test the gas to see whether it still is hydrogen.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because we might find that the little space of gas that's remaining, possibly, when we light it, it doesn't light at all.
Absolutely. So then it makes you wonder that
whether you got hydrogen in there. Where did the hydrogen go?
But it has, in some ways, it has cemented our understanding that hydrogen is just pressure.
Yeah, it's just pressure, yeah.
For a lot of people find it really hard.
Remaining, possibly. When we light it, it doesn't light at all.
Absolutely. So then it makes you wonder that
whether you got hydrogen in there. Where did the hydrogen go?
But it has, in some ways, it has cemented our understanding that hydrogen is just pressure.
Do you know what people do, though? They don't realise that we're supposed to grow every day and learn every day. If we're not, we're closed off and we're dying. If you're not learning and growing, you're dying. Inside, I mean.
Yeah, absolutely.
But what's interesting is it makes everybody realise that they're no different to everybody else.
Yeah, we're all equal, yeah.
We're all the same.
Absolutely.
No one's better than anybody else.
Yep.
I've really enjoyed this hangout. Hopefully you'll come back another time because I love you. You love what you have to say. Can I just say we'll say goodbye on air, but I do want to ask you something off air. So don't just jump off. Wait till I'll turn the recording off. But I want to ask you something. Anyway, it's been a pleasure. You've talked about amazing lots of things, and I love your work you do. And keep doing it, please.
Yeah.
That's an
Yeah,
order.
thanks,
I'm
thanks,
ordering you.
thanks,
You
Karen.
order to carry
Thanks,
on.
Patricia. Yeah, thanks, Karen.
Thanks, Patricia.
Well, yeah. Thanks for having
Karen.
us.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Patricia.
Yeah,
Thanks, Karen.
Patricia.
Look,
Yeah, thanks everyone.
love you both.
Whoever's listening.
Boys, because I want to say, yeah, but
Whoever's
don't
listening.
disappear, boys, because I want to ask you something. But anyway, for the
No,
recording,
we'll keep it running.
and we should be premiering this tomorrow. So hopefully you might come in the chat room anyway. But anyway, mwah, thank you so much.
Yeah.